What is up? What is up, YouTube? Check it out without a doubt. Let's see what this bad boy is all about. Hey, man. Shout out to everybody that left comments, man. I'm joking when I say this, but y'all kept me up to 5 o'clock in the morning. I was so excited to see so many people that was saying they liked the music. They left comments. Leave a comment, man, and then you got your haters, right? I said it's a song. It's a song about the haters, and the hater leave a comment saying, "What you doing? Where's your music?" They talk. I'm talking about what haters and Diddy sons and Diddy. So we're gonna break this down. This joint is an hour and 45-minute big ticket. I can't go that long, man. I can't go. It's 9:30. I ain't gonna have me up all night long again. Nope, you ain't gonna do that. I was reading the comments. I was trying my best to answer so many, man. Thank y'all, man. I was thinking if I didn't answer your comment or my team didn't answer the comment, man, we doing the best we can because we have a whole lot of comments to answer. So check this out, man, because I know this is gonna be a long video, so I'm gonna play this song right here, man. This song ain't about nobody, it's about me. It's about Uncle Mike, man. So let's see how this joint sound. Let me see if everything's set up, because the last, yeah, we gotta bring this down a little bit. Let's check this out, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Leave me a comment if you like this song. Let me see.
Gotta go, gotta get dough. Everybody proud of me, now watch me grow. From garage mixtape, demo chance, hustling every day, had no advance. Studio sessions, late night stressing, dreams on my mind, ain't no time for resting. Underground story, write it in my chapter, making tracks hot now, I'm the master. Pennies in my pocket and the visions in my sight. Late night grind turns dark tonight. I never pitch, nobody would listen. Now they begging for a spat, but I'm on a mission. Audition after audition, doors in my face, reality check, but I still embrace faith in the mic, beats in my veins, riding on the rhythm. Pennies in my pocket and the visions in my sight. Late night grind turns dark tonight. I never pitch, nobody would listen. Now they begging for a spat, but I'm on a mission. Audition after audition, doors in my face, reality check, but I still embrace faith in the mic, beats in my veins, riding on the rhythm. Came from nothing, now I'm frontin'. Music biz climb non-stop running. Big dreams, big schemes, ain't no bluffing. A mic in my hand, all or nothing. Paying dues, walking in these shoes. Uphill struggle, ain't trying to lose. Now I see the clues, top floor views. Earning respect, in this game I choose. Voicemails ignored, haters on blast. Took every chance, made them think fast. Record labels now checking my style. Going worldwide from my hometown. I follow my heart, let the beats guide. I used to ride the bus, now a chauffeur ride. Income the paper, the deals wasn't flying. This is my journey, and it's all mine. Came from nothing, now I'm frontin'. Music biz climb non-stop running. Big dreams, big schemes, ain't no bluffing. A mic in my hand, all or nothing. Paying dues, walking in these shoes. Uphill struggle, ain't trying to lose. Now I see the clues, top floor views. Earning respect, in this game I choose.
Man, y'all better go ahead with that, man. Golly. I want to put that on when Big Ticket comes on, right? I play some of our music and everything, man. Let them Bammers know. Let the haters know that Uncle Mike ain't just in here. Whew. I try not to dance that much, y'all. I'm not just in here just copying people's videos. That's what the hater said, y'all. So anyway, man, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Big Ticket is saying that an actor, I forgot he do his intro. Big Ticket is saying that an actor, where my glasses at? Uncle Mike need his glasses, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can't see. Plus, I ain't have enough sleep. Y'all in trouble. All y'all go upstairs. Everybody who left a comment, The comment section, y'all go upstairs. Or go home, one of the two. If you're at home, go upstairs. Yeah, you gotta go upstairs. Check this out, man. I can't believe this,
All right,
man.
you guys, so press one if y'all can hear me in the comments. Got a mic check, 1 2 1 1.
Mic
I
check.
told you guys this is gonna probably happen, and it's going on both sides. As Cassie got hit with a lawsuit,
What?
and now Diddy has been hit with allegations now, as Sean Diddy Combs has now been accused by an actor slash music video male music video vixen or dancer for sexual assault and giving him a disease. Now, according to the reports from Variety.com, it says as the verdict looms in Diddy's criminal trial in New York, the embattled rapper has been hit with a new lawsuit. This actor that goes by the name and model that goes by the name of Edmond Laurent, a former model and actor who appeared in Britney Spears and Lil' Kim music videos, is now suing Diddy and several other Jane and John Does of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, and sexual battery, as well as civil conspiracy and aiding and abetting.
Damn.
Now, this man who's called the Islander is seeking damages for his alleged crimes that he alleges were committed upon him. Now, in a 32-page complaint that he has filed, he basically said that in a Los Angeles Superior Court, he chronicled series of alleged incidents that took place in the late 2000s at a swath of luxury hotels in Los Angeles area, including the Intercontinental in Century City, SLS in Beverly Hills, and the Mondrian in West Hollywood. Now, according to the lawsuit, Laurent was D-word and R-worded by Diddy and a mystery woman who purposefully punctured a condom with her nails and exposed him to a sexually transmitted infection. Now, the complaint states that he suffered severe health issues, including stomach cancer, as a result of this situation. As described in the complaint, he is heterosexual and was once a highly sought after to be in music videos with the likes of Tupac Shakur, Dr. Dre, Britney Spears, Lil' Kim, Tamia, and other prominent artists, and appeared on an episode of Baywatch as well in the late 2000s. He was signed to the modeling agency and talent agency Latin Connection that booked him on jobs and an extra in films and music videos, as well as performing at bachelorette parties as male entertainment. Now, the alleged abuse perpetrated by Diddy began when Mr. Laurent's agency booked him for a job at a bachelorette party at a LA hotel. Now, he arrived to find a man and a woman wearing masks who wanted a private dance. Seeing nothing wrong with the request, the plaintiff proceeded to perform. Now, after the performance, he was paid and left. The man was Sean Diddy Combs, according to his complaint. A few days later, he received another call from the woman and returned. After performing his dance for the couple, the woman propositioned Mr. Laurent for sexual intercourse. According to the complaint, Diddy noted how much pleasure he derived from watching another man fuck his girl. Laurent agreed, put on a condom, and proceeded to have sex with the woman. He was paid an additional $1,000 for the act. Following that encounter, the woman continued to contact Laurent, inviting him to return. Upon arriving for another meeting at the Mondrian, The couple unmasked themselves and asked the plaintiff to apply an excessive amount of baby oil. They offered him a drink, which he tasted and quickly declined, informing them that at the time he didn't want to consume alcohol. The Jane Doe then offered him that cocaine, X, and GHB, all to which he declined, reiterating he didn't use these substances. Now, Combs insisted that he be on that same frequency as they were on, demanding that he take at least one shot of alcohol to lighten up. The plaintiff, reluctant but under pressure, obliged. Now, Mr. Laurent became extremely woozy and lightheaded. Months went by before he received a call from Jane Doe and was invited to another hotel. During this encounter, he was offered substances, illegal, and alcohol, which he declined, but was forced to use an immense amount of baby oil, which he believes was infused with GHB. While Laurent had sex with the woman, Combs asked him to remove the condom. The plaintiff refused, and Diddy and the Jane Doe informed him that they had recently been tested, were both clean, and stated that the plaintiff was the only other partner that she had. They even went so far as to produce what they claimed to be valid blood work results as the evidence that Jane Doe was STD and STI free, the suit says. Jane Doe reached down, broke the rubber with her fingernail as the plaintiff was penetrating her. Diddy then came behind the plaintiff, leaning closely in and whispering in his ear in a low, suggestive tone, "Yeah, fuck that pussy. Pound that pussy." His voice was deliberate and insistent, reinforcing the coercive atmosphere. Plaintiff felt increasingly trapped and uncomfortable, but due to the effects of the drug baby oil and the situation he found himself in, he struggled to fully resist or leave, though he attempted to and had all intent to, but was hindered by those drugs. Furthermore, Diddy also told the woman how to perform oral sex on him. When she did not perform oral sex on him as she was instructed, he would snatch the plaintiff's penis from her and mimic the movements of how he wanted her to slob on this man's knob. On the final encounter, the couple offered Laurent some orange juice, specifically because he didn't drink alcohol. Unbeknownst to him, Jane Doe and Sean Diddy Combs had spiked the drink with a roofie and ketamine. When the plaintiff regained consciousness, he was lying naked on the bed, lathered in baby oil, and felt immense pressure and pain in his booty. Jane Doe woke up, pulled out a stack of $100 bills, and handed him $500, and abruptly shut the hotel room door. The plaintiff was left feeling violated, confused, and physically unwell. Weeks later, booty hole warts appeared around the rim of Mr. Laurent's booty. The complaint says he was diagnosed with, I don't even want to say that word. I'm going to throw up.
Oh my God.
Mr. Laurent began vomiting so frequently that he lost his ability to retain solid food or liquids. As a result of getting bumped in the butt, he suffered debilitating health issues that led to him having gastric surgery and eventually stomach cancer, the lawsuit said. Also, this report says that Mr. Laurent, alongside other famous faces, were filed in this lawsuit, including Pamela Anderson on Baywatch and Oprah Winfrey in Happier Times. Those pictures are juxtaposed by a current picture of a frail-looking Laurent who is missing his teeth now due to so much vomiting. His lawsuit also lists the mystery woman as a defendant, referring to her as Jane Doe, whose identity is unknown to Mr. Laurent. It also names an additional 9 Jane and John Does who participated, facilitated, aided, conspired, or otherwise contribute to the wrongful acts. Those Jane and John Does, who loosely fit the description of an entourage, controlled access, security, and medical supplies, including drinks and oils, within private suites, and cleaned evidence, ignored loud disturbances, and refused to summon help. Combs is currently being detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center, waiting on his actual date. All right. So, also, my bad, you guys. Also, hold on one second, you guys. Hold on one second, you guys. Also, there's another one tonight that involves both Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. Now, this one is a 49-page lawsuit from Mr. Clayton Howard. Now, he has a completely different allegation. Now, he brings his action against Diddy and Cassie arising from an 8-year period of systematic sexual exploitation, sex trafficking, and abuse that occurred between approximately 2009 and 2019. Now, he claims that his case exposes the darker truth behind the widely publicized narrative surrounding Cassie Ventura's recent civil settlement and the ongoing criminal prosecution of Sean Diddy Combs. Now, as I get into this complaint, I have a question in the Cash App, and the question is this going to become criminal? And I'm going to say this to you. And then you send me another donation asking me, let me see what your name is against. That's you. That's a different person. Shout out to Tara and shout out to Stephanie too. But also, Belinda, I see you in the Cash App. You asked me about Double Jeopardy. Here's the situation. Sean Diddy Combs, in the case he just had, that he just beat the RICO and the sex trafficking case with those independent people, that case cannot be brought up in a federal court again. He has been found innocent on those charges. Here's the thing. The feds, whether it be in New York, Florida, California, where you're hearing most of these things, if they have evidence sufficient on other racketeering, sex trafficking, or any, for example, Diddy only got hit with 2 counts of transition prostitution. So you got more people that's coming out now saying that they were trafficked and they were paid as prostitutes for Diddy. Famous people. This ain't nobody just, you got people that's been in big time famous videos and they put their name to it. Edmond Laurent and also Clayton Howard. So here's the thing. If the feds want to double back, do a different case with Diddy, now it's going to be worse because he's already a convicted felon. And then, right, let me answer this question. You said, do I really think Puff and Cass was the only one? No, it's not what I'm saying, dog. We only talking about this particular case, though. So I'm not going to sit out here and play guess when I don't know who else they dealt with. We're only dealing with this particular situation because these are the people that they're suing. Janet Jackass. So what I'm saying is, here's the thing. Diddy's original racketeering case and his original sex trafficking case came from civil action, but it wasn't from Cassie Ventura. Lil Rod, Rodney Jones, and I told y'all this before. I told y'all during the trial, it wasn't Cassie. Everybody thought it was Cassie who went to the feds. Cassie didn't go to the feds. They all blamed Cassie. Cassie did not want to go to the feds. Cassie took immunity deal because Cassie was charged beside Sean John Combs. It wasn't Cassie. You know who went to the feds and snitched on Sean John Combs? The man who went to the feds and gave it all up, gave out the whole house layout, the mansion layout, gave him everything, all of the tapes. And he even said that he doesn't understand why all those tapes, why all that information was not released in his first trial. He says that, look, he says all the stuff I gave the feds, they only used a little bit of that stuff I gave them in the first trial. Is what that man said. The person who gave that information to federal authorities was Rodney Lil Rod Jones. He admitted today in an interview that has went viral with DJ Academics, and we did a video on it right before we came in here. He has admitted that he is the one who met with the federal agency for 3.5 full days and gave the entire information. He also admitted, and he claims, that the white boy was planted on Diddy. He was a plant. And that the white boy is a snitch, is what Little Rod said. Also, he drew the entire layout for the feds. He admitted today in an interview with DJ Academics of Diddy's mansion. He gave the feds every single freak-off video that he had. He gave the feds all the information on all the inner workings on Diddy. And he also revealed today in a DJ Academics interview that the feds are working on more charges currently on Sean John Combs. Now it all makes sense why the feds did not put all of those things we talked about pre-trial in this one case. Because if the feds, as I told y'all before, would have put all of that stuff in this one case and Diddy beat that, there's no chance at them to use that in a different case. But since the feds didn't put all these other things that we're now hearing in that case, now, you understand what I'm saying? You're gonna see what's going on. Now, excuse me. I kind of understand what you're saying, man. But I'm gonna get back to what you just said, though. I'm gonna get back to that. But basically, what's going on is everybody was asking, why didn't Lil Rod? Why wasn't he brought in this case with his allegations?
Yeah, why? I don't understand. I don't understand how they getting a RICO with one person. Lil Rod used to work for Bad Boy. He was doing his music. So everybody who worked for Bad Boy needs to be part of this covering up criminal allegations. For example, Lil Rod was there when they, I don't know, allegedly shot somebody in the bathroom, and Puffy said, say that he got shot out here. He was there. So the company, the whole company, the record label was covering up bad things. To me, that's RICO. That's RICO right there. They covering up all kinds of stuff. Now, if they switch Lil Rod, Cassie, KK, we ain't heard nothing from her. If they switch and was part of the, oh, come on, man. Y'all making this hard, government. They better pull a trick or a rabbit out their sleeve something kind of way. They better do something.
Well, maybe the feds didn't want to put him in this case.
That's facts.
Once again, when Diddy beats a RICO, they can't come and bring that same type of RICO back. That's called double jeopardy. And you cannot use double jeopardy when a client is found innocent of that crime. What has to happen is they have to have the reminiscence of an entire new RICO. It can be the same people, but it has to be evidence under different terms. So, for example, and listen, to the person who says that Trump is not going to allow them to keep wasting money, the resources are unlimited. He has no choice. Donald Trump does not control FBI investigations. He has no option over that because the FBI can investigate Donald J. Trump. In fact, the FBI has investigated Donald J. Trump before. But let me say this to you. Also, this is a prime example. When all those people were celebrating and laughing, this is the same thing that happened when John Gotti beat the feds the first time. Everybody thought it was over. The newspapers celebrated him. They cheered in the streets for John Gotti, and everybody was saying, beat the case like John Gotti. And so when John Gotti beat that case, everybody thought it was over with, except for the federal government. And the federal government came back, and John Gotti beat him again. And the federal government came back, and John Gotti beat him a third time. And everybody thought it was over with until the federal government came the fourth time. The fourth time. And they got him the fourth time because they got his main man to flip on him. And they used secret surveillance. They just kept running it back with different cases until they got you. So the situation with Sean John Combs, here's the issue. Everybody's wondering, well, why did the judge deny Diddy's bail? If he's going to get a life sentence, why would the judge deny his bail just to give him probation, a life sentence, and let him go home? Because that's not what's going to happen, Lebowski. You can see the writing on the wall. In my opinion, Diddy's lawyers made a major mistake. And it showed in that bail hearing after Diddy was acquitted on those 3 charges. They admitted that Diddy was a very violent person and that Diddy was an abuser. And they say that if we were charged with domestic abuse or that type of abuse, we don't have a case. We would cop to that. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the one thing that the feds accomplished. They have Diddy as a convicted felon. So his lawyer also used the argument Well, he's a first-time offender. He's never been in trouble. Well, if the feds come at Diddy again, he most certainly won't get bail because he's a convicted felon. And then if they come at him with violence, he has zero argument to that because his lawyers have already in open court used a violent excuse to get him off of the sex trafficking and the RICO charges in the first case. And since they said it in open court, now it's not nothing that they can take back if they come in a different trial. Different circumstances. So when Little Rod said today in that interview that went viral with DJ Academics that the feds are already working on bringing new charges against Diddy, and Ack was like, yo, more charges? He was like, yep. Now it makes sense why the feds didn't call him to the stand. Now it makes sense why the feds dropped more of the other witnesses that they had that they were going to have testify in this case. It just seems like they didn't try to put all their eggs in one basket. So now they'll probably double back, come at it again. From a whole different perspective with all new witnesses, because Lil Rod said in an interview with DJ Academics today that the feds didn't use even a portion of the stuff that he gave them for that raid and for that first legal action. Everybody was on YouTube blaming Cassie. Cassie was going to ride with Diddy. The only reason why Cassie flipped on Diddy is because she didn't want to go to prison. Cassie wasn't the one who called the feds. Cassie had originally was going to write a book because she wanted to get paid from Diddy for all the time she lost with him, being with this nigga, not having no career, and leaving empty-handed and feeling like she got treated like shit. When Diddy didn't do it, she dropped the lawsuit. Cassie never wanted to go to court and tell y'all dudes was peeing in her mouth and doing all that stuff. She didn't want to do that. She had to do that because she was charged too with Diddy. She was a co-conspirator. The dude that set Diddy up and got this whole play and admitted to it today was Lil Rod. Lil Rod in his 3-hour interview today with DJ Academics, and I'm going to say this to you again, in his 3-hour interview today with DJ Academics, admitted to everything. He talked about how he met with the feds. He said the original meeting with the feds was supposed to be 4 hours. He said when the feds saw all the information he had, they met for 3.5 straight days. He said then the feds wanted the entire layout of Diddy's home. He said he's the one that gave him where Diddy held all the drugs at. He's the one who told him where Diddy had those guns at. And he said he told him a lot more that they did not even reveal in this trial right now. Why wouldn't they do that? Why would the feds hold a lot of stuff, witnesses and victims back in this trial? Unless they didn't want to put all their eggs in one basket. Now they have Diddy as a convicted felon. If they come back and hit that nigga again, they already know he done so. This is the same thing that happened in multiple cases. Don't call me a hater. Just do your individual research. Look at John Gotti's case. The feds didn't stop till they got him. Look at Robert Kelly. Matter what y'all say or do, gotta get this money. Watch out when they come for you. Take all of y'all honeys. They hit R. Kelly in different states. Go look at R. Kelly's case. R. Kelly got hit with charges in multiple jurisdictions. Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein got charged in California and convicted, and he got charged in New York and convicted. Appealed in New York, won the appeal, went back to court and got found guilty again on the top charge. And it was a mistrial on the other charge. They got to go back to court again on the other charge. The feds don't stop until they get you. Look at all the examples. Everybody think because Diddy walked up to court, it's over with. It ain't over with until the federal government say it's over with. That's the part people don't understand. That's why I don't understand why these people on here taking these victory laps. The only thing y'all gonna do is piss them people off even more. I wouldn't have said nothing. Diddy got free. I'd have been like, hey man, look, Diddy got free. He beat the charge. Hey, look, thank God for it. Move on. Lil Rogers did a 3-hour interview with DJ Academics that's going viral, where he made even more claims that he said is all coming out in his case. In fact, let me put this on the screen for y'all. Before I read this lawsuit, I'll put this on the screen for y'all. Because I know y'all niggas think I'm capping.
Uh-oh.
Let me put this on the screen for y'all. Right now.
Right
he
now.
Did a 3-hour interview today. It's all over the blogs right now. It's all over the blogs right now. The interview he did with DJ Academics. It's all over the blog. Matter of fact, I think I saw it right over here on, here it go right here.
Here it go right here.
Here it go right here.
Damn, Lil Rod.
Hold on. Let me see. Now, Diddy, of course, he's denied all of his claims. Right? Also, he said in that interview with Act, he said that again, he said that they're investigating Diddy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that part for y'all, where he said not investigate. He said they're bringing more charges against Diddy. I'm gonna play that part for you guys where he said that. I thought Act did a great interview because Act pressed him. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I thought Act did a good job by pressing, because sometimes you get the answers by pressing people. Like sometimes it's good to let them talk and just let them keep going, but then sometimes when you want to get certain answers, you put that pressure. I thought Act did a great job on that interview. Now let me put this in here to y'all. This is what Lil Rod said today in the interview with DJ Academics.
Two-Star Island, that would kind of fit under. Man. Hey, do you believe the feds lost the most important charges, or the charges that carry the most weight, because they didn't bring you in? I'm read your lawsuit, and you actually say, Sean Combs and KK had me send Ubers to transport sex workers.
Now, let me stop that right there. Do y'all hear what Ack is asking him? Ack is saying, bro, you made these allegations in your lawsuit. Why didn't the feds bring you in to help this case? Great question. You know why? Think about this, y'all. Because Little Rod in himself is a whole different RICO. The fact that they didn't bring Little Rod and they only used Little Rod's information to get the search warrant on Diddy and to create the case. They didn't use him in this case. They didn't call him as a witness. They didn't use any of his information. Why? Because they can turn around in a whole different RICO. Because Little Rod was entrenched and he came with a lot of evidence. And they can come now in a whole different case, and it won't be double jeopardy. And they can use Little Rod and use him as the star witness, star victim, because he says that he was used too like this. They can use him and bring forth a whole slew of new charges. Listen to what Act asked him today. This is very important. That's why I told people, y'all need to listen, man. That's why I ain't saying, where everybody was doing all this laughing and cheering and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, these niggas be laugh now and cry later.
To come to Two-Star Island, that would kind of fit under sex trafficking. Like, you could have been a valuable
witness. Now, everybody talking about sex trafficking. Now, what y'all think gonna happen if they put a new jury out there, sequester them, and have them come do a whole new case with all new victims? What y'all think gonna happen then? What y'all think Diddy's guidelines gonna be then as a convicted felon, since he got these other charges on him? They already got 2 charges on him to stick. Here it go right here.
Man. Hey, do you believe the feds lost the most important charges, or the charges that carry the most weight, because they didn't bring you in? I'm read your lawsuit, and you actually say, Sean Combs and KK had me send Ubers to transport sex workers to come to Two Star Island, that would kind of fit under sex trafficking. Like, you could have been a valuable witness. Why not bring you up there? Because KK's not going to be there. Why not bring you there to say, hey, I would send the Ubers, they would pay me back. I would send the Ubers to get the sex workers or the people who, quote unquote, being sex trafficked.
I really don't know, and I really wouldn't count them out yet. They did say that they was going to bring some other charges, etc.
More charges?
Yeah. So
Act was like, more charges? He said, yeah. He said, I wouldn't count them out. This is what Lil Rod said, who met with the feds and who gave them all the information for the case. Everybody blamed Cassie. It wasn't Cassie. I told niggas this. It wasn't Cassie. It was Lil Rod. Lil Rod, it was Little Rod who gave the feds the whole case that y'all just seen. And Lil Rod took credit for the whole thing today, too. He was like, nobody was able to ever get anything to stick on Diddy, ever. He said, I'm the only one that got something to stick on that dude. And now he's a he's got 2 felony charges on him. Now, you think why they denied that man bail? You don't think they finna run this shit back? On a whole different situation? I told you, don't get too comfortable with these feds, man. I don't play them fed games. Because I'm telling you something. You should know how they get down. They don't like to lose. They the type of people, if you beat them, they want to keep you on the court all day. Y'all, anybody ever play basketball? You been on there with some bum? You just keep beating them. They keep talking trash. Like, bro, why you keep wanting me to come back and just beat you again? They keep you on the court until they get one win off you, then they feel good. That's how the feds do. Feds can't beat you. They're going to keep running it back till they get you. That's how they roll. So when y'all seen they didn't bring all that stuff before, now it makes sense. Lil Rod just told it.
Either. Why not bring you there to say, hey, I would send the Ubers, they would pay me back. I would send the Ubers to get the sex workers or the people who, quote unquote, being sex trafficked.
I really don't know, and I really wouldn't count them out yet. They did say that they was going to bring some other charges, etc.
More charges?
Yeah. So
He said, yeah.
Man, I ain't say it. Lil Rod said it. And Lil Rod was the one who met with the feds for 3.5 days and gave them everything. He gave them the entire layout and all that stuff of all Diddy's mansions. He told them where everything was. He told them how the whole operation went down. Now imagine if they hit this nigga with another indictment and got Lil Rod as the key guy up there. Now, Diddy's in a whole different situation because now they got him for the 2 felonies on the transportation. He's a convicted felon and he has a registered as a sex offender. If they hit him with any more sex charges or any more felons, shit, man, you might as well go night-night. And you kind of can't do nothing to Lil Rod right now because if something happened to Lil Rod, what you think gonna happen? And to the person who said let it go, nah, I don't think I'm gonna let it go. Because these people are not gonna let it. I'm gonna keep reporting on it until we know that it's not gonna be no more cases. Anytime we get an update, I'm gonna talk about it. I do what the hell I want to do. You can make as many troll accounts as you want. That shit don't bother me. Get mad at Lil Rod. Lil Rod said it, not me. He the one that went up there and admitted on Act today that he was the one. And I told y'all this during the trial. It was Lil Rod. Everybody sitting up here talking about Cassie. Wasn't Cassie. It was Lil Rod who gave the feds everything and told the feds, this is what y'all need to do. He sat up there and told DJ Academics everything today. He said, I'm the one that gave him everything. I told him where this is. I told him where the drugs at. I told him where the guns at. I told him how he operate, everything. Lil Rod sat up there today and said he thinks that the jury was tampered with on the last day. He says that he thinks that Brianna, they got to her. That, all that stuff he said in DJ Academics. Y'all don't think the feds watching that shit? Think about what I just said. So he admitted that he was the snitch, not Cassie. So everybody that was dogging out Cassie, she had to take a plea. Because if she didn't, they was gonna prosecute her too. And she was probably scared shitless. And here's the reason why. All the stuff she put in her own lawsuit, Cassie probably didn't even know she had exposed herself from all the things she put in her lawsuit. And I'm going to tell you how I know that Cassie didn't know that. Because Cassie didn't put in her lawsuit that dudes was pissing in her mouth. That was a secret Cassie was going to take to her grave.
Damn,
That
Cassie.
was a secret she was taking to her grave forever.
You know what tripped me out, man?
Hurt.
What tripped me out is she actually, if she was planning on taking that to her grave, that means she put everything she had while she was on that stand to try to lock him up. But the part that kills me is people don't understand the law. They try to act like they do. If we can get the acting out of people. Cassie, somebody using the bathroom in your mouth, it's not RICO. It's not trafficking. None of that got anything to do with anything, man. Y'all feel me? And it's a shame. It's a shame that oh man, I wouldn't have said that. This don't have nothing to do with the RICO. You laid down there, you didn't stop him and take a butt whooping then. God dang, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for her, man. God damn, she fine too, boy. How can you use the bathroom on something that's so beautiful? That's like using the bathroom on your BMW. You wouldn't do that. I don't understand what pleasure you get out of using the bathroom on somebody or using the bathroom. If you don't like something, then you pee on it. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking backwards. Am I thinking backwards? Shit. I mean, shoot. My bad.
That was a secret she was taking to her grave.
To her grave. Forever and ever. Forever, ever.
Her telling that stuff in court was not because she wanted to come out and do that.
Oh,
that wasn't
God. At
that
least
wasn't it.
The government should have told her, nah, baby. If
you think Cassie wanted the people to know she had all those type of infections and was doing all these salacious things beyond what she stated in her law? Go look what Cassie stated in her lawsuit.
The lawyers and the stupid government should have told her that I don't think this is going to help. It kind of helped the jurors say, "Oh, God dang, Diddy, you are nasty." Okay, he nasty, but is that against the law to be nasty? You could be the nastiest mother. There's no law on the books. There's no law on the books that say you can't be nasty. Oh my God, y'all.
And when she testified, when they asked her all these different questions in court, she said way more in court than she said in her lawsuit. She didn't want to say all that stuff. Tanya says, where's all the tapes? Lil Rod said the feds got all the tapes. Lil Rod said he gave the feds all the tapes.
You need some
and he said,
blackmail people to come up.
What you call it? Asked him about the evidence in the baby oil. He said, oh, man, if you only knew, they only use a little bit of that. The evidence. He said they only use a little bit of the evidence in that trial. He said, man, they're bringing more charges against this dude. I said, damn, they bringing more charges? Then I instantly thought, I'm like, damn, now this shit's starting to make sense. It's like they threw the little first thing out there to see if it was going to stick, knowing that they had them on the transportation of prostitution. But check this out, y'all. If the feds can get another one of these type of cases, because now you got more prostitutes coming out saying, I ain't going to say prostitutes, but you got more people that's coming out saying they was paid like prostitutes. If they have any type of evidence and the feds get a hold of this, they can bring a whole new case on Diddy. That changes everything. So anyways, Clayton Howard, he's another guy. who is now brought in a lawsuit. Not this guy on your screen. Clayton Howard is a whole different guy. He's brought these allegations against Cassie and Diddy. Now, he says defendant Sean John Combs is a prominent rapper and a record executive known by his stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and Diddy, who rose to fame in the early 90s with his label, The Bad Boy Records. And Cassie, professionally known as Cassandra Ventura, professionally known as Cassie, is a singer, actress, and a model who gained prominence in the early 2000s with her single Me and You, and appeared in films including The Perfect Match and Set It Up to the Streets. It says the defendants maintained a highly publicized romantic relationship from 2007 to 2018, during which both were toxic individuals addicted to bleeps, illegal substances, who had no regard for others or for the law. See, y'all starting to see it now. Everybody thought it was Cassie who snitched and gave the case away on Diddy. It wasn't Cassie. It was Lil Rod. Because now y'all are seeing Cassie getting sued right beside Diddy. These names are coming up because Cassie was a part of the organization. The thing with Cassie is that she was getting the hell beat out of her. She was getting dragged down hallways and all kind of shit done to her. Now, right? He says, and he goes on to say, that he says, let's see. He says defendant Cassie Ventura was not merely a victim forced into sexual encounters with male escorts, but rather an active and engaged participant who willingly manipulated and exploited others, including me, to satisfy the sexually depraved desires of Sean Diddy Combs and herself. For more than 8 years, those defendants operated a scheme whereby they systematically exploited the plaintiff through manipulation, coercion, controlled substances, and threats of violence to engage in non-consensual sexual activities for their gratification and commercial purposes. This is the reason why Cassie had to cooperate with the feds. Because with all of these lawsuits coming with Diddy and the allegations against Diddy, Cassie was bound to get hit too and be put a part of the conspiracy, and she could have faced all kind of crime, all kind of prison time too. So everybody think that Cassie just ran out there, went to the feds and tried to get it. That's not what happened. It was Lil Rod who did that shit. Lil Rod was the one. And now the whole world knows. Why? Because Lil Rod told y'all too. He confirmed it today. So he says that the defendant, Cassie Ventura, accomplished this exploitation by concealing her identity and fabricating the narrative that she and Diddy were married, using this deception to entice men into drug use and sexual encounters. Defendants Cassie and Diddy drugged the plaintiff with controlled substances, including MDMA, and doses 3 times stronger than what Cassie herself consumed, to lower his inhibitions and facilitate sexual exploitation. Defendant Cassie used these substances strategically, like a spider catching its prey in this web, to manipulate the plaintiff into unwanted sexual contact designed to please Sean Diddy Combs and prove her devotion to his appetites. Defendant Cassie Ventura would command the plaintiff to masturbate for hours while she pleasured herself to climax, visibly satisfying herself at the sight of the plaintiff's anatomy. These extended masturbation sessions often left the plaintiff's penis bruised and swollen, injuries about which he would complain to defendant Cassie, seeking consideration. However, Defendant Cassie showed zero mercy, sympathy, and demanding compliance while pleasuring herself in a manner she hoped would satisfy the defendant Sean John Combs, who derived satisfaction from watching her gratification through his voyeuristic desires. So this man said that he had a swollen beefcake. He said that his cock was swollen from these sessions and bruised from these sessions. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know how he's going to say that when they was using baby oil all the time. You know what I'm saying? You using baby oil, that thing's supposed to be real slick, right? So I don't understand that part. But y'all see what's going on. You see what's going on, right? So this is what he's saying, right? He's saying that his beefcake, you know, took a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard a dude say he had a beefcake injury, but this dude said he had a beefcake injury. Anyways, he says that during these encounters, Diddy watched silently in the shadows, directing the activities as if he were a film director orchestrating his vision. Once the defendant Cassie Ventura was ready to begin, the defendant Sean Diddy Combs regulated her responses and controlled the rate of sexual activity, exercising complete dominance over both the plaintiff and defendant Cassie Ventura, in which the couple considered a special shared experience. Now, while defendant Combs appeared to serve as a protector rather than an oppressor, supporting Cassie's desires and catering to her with wine and fruit during the encounters, his presence was deliberately intimidating as a part of his role in protecting his partner from the men they exploited. Threats of violence were implied when Diddy wished to assert control, and during at least one encounter, he threatened to pistol whip me, directing Cassie to the master suite to retrieve his firearm. This is big stuff, y'all. He's saying that Diddy was going at them firearms. Remember the feds brought all them firearms up? Now, this is force. This is force right here, y'all. This is, now see, if he can prove that, and they already talking about firearms, he's a violent man, this, that, and the third, bro, this is crazy work. So he says, at no time did Cassie display fear when engaged in or about to engage in sexual encounters. All the abuse witnessed by the plaintiff occurred due to domestic complications between the defendants, including jealousy, ego, and arrogance, aided by an extensive drug use and sleep deprivation, which contributed to the violent outburst from Diddy, who consumed far more drugs than Cassie, sexual assault, and non-consensual recording. He says, over the years, the plaintiff was sexually assaulted by Cassie, who would manipulate and force herself on him during her menstrual cycle against his will. And the defendants filmed the plaintiff in compromising encounters without his consent for years, creating recordings that the couple would watch together after the encounters ended and for use of mutual masturbation. When the plaintiff confronted defendant Cassie Ventura about the recording and vocalized his desire not to be recorded, she explained that she enjoyed their sexual relationship and provided her reasons for the recordings. Defendant Ventura then opened her MacBook to a previous recording and masturbated to climax in front of the plaintiff while watching an encounter involving two of them, demonstrating the extent of her manipulation and control. For more than 5 years, defendants trafficked the plaintiff for uses of purpose of commercial sex, using him. Now, see, Diddy can get in trouble for this. Now, see, this is different. This ain't Cassie. This ain't no woman. This is a man saying that Diddy sex trafficked him by force because he said they used that pistol. And I'm going to tell y'all something. These lawsuits coming out now, if they get this dude to go up there and testify, here's the thing right here. Cassie can't get charged. Cassie already took immunity. But if Cassie, which the feds will probably be able to use her as a witness, goes back on the stand as a witness, not a victim, because this is a different case, and says that Diddy did tell her to go get that gun and force this dude to do what he wanted to. Now you have sex trafficking by force. So if he could prove, like the feds did in the other cases, that there was flights, payment arrangements, and things like that through messages and stuff like that, if he can prove that, the feds got a whole different case. That's why the feds didn't bring all that stuff in this one case. So the feds already got Diddy locked down as a sex offender and as a federal, they got him locked down as a sex offender and they got him locked down as a felon, right? So if this dude have text messages, which they showed in court, which helped prove the other stuff before, but if he can get Cassie as a witness, because Cassie already has immunity, she can't get hit with no charges. Everybody thought Cassie bought this against Diddy. And I told everybody, bro, it wasn't Cassie. I told everybody it was not Cassie, because at first I thought it was Cassie, but it wasn't Cassie. I came here, remember I came here and told y'all? It was Lil Rod. It was Lil Rod. And I told y'all this during the case. I was like, yo, bro, this ain't even Cassie, dog. This is Lil Rod. At the very beginning of the case, I told y'all. I had heard that this was Lil Rod who did this. And Lil Rod came out today and confirmed that it wasn't Cassie. It was him who got this whole federal case against Diddy. He was the one that gave up all the information and gave the Fed, because he was the one that was the closest to Diddy in the recent time. The feds couldn't go because Cassie didn't have no link to Diddy recently. Lil Rod did. So they could use that to get up on Diddy. It's a statute of limitations there, right? So Lil Rod's statute of limitation was real fresh, right? So everybody that was getting mad and saying that Cassie did this and did, that wasn't Cassie. The only thing Cassie did was try to get that cheese from Diddy. She didn't even want to go to court and tell him all this stuff. It was Lil Rod. And to the person who says that Lil Rod can get obstruction for speaking on if there's a new investigation, no, Lil Rod said that he heard they were potentially bringing new charges against Diddy. That's not illegal for him to say that. Now, he could tick the feds off if they told him don't say nothing and he said something, but I doubt they told him that. So let's keep going. This situation is crazy work, man. So this guy says, right, for more than 5 years that they trafficked him for the purposes of commercial sex, using him as entertainment to satisfy their sexual fetishes and personal ambitions. The couple drugged, manipulated, and traumatized him while themselves engaging in a toxic, domestically abusive relationship that often became violent. And Diddy's lawyers cannot deny that part because they've already admitted in court that Diddy was a domestic abuser. It almost feels like, y'all, and I'm going to say this, and I don't know if this is sure or not, but I'm going to tell everybody that's listening. It almost feels like that now this part is set up based off of what Diddy's lawyer said, It's almost like the feds wanted Diddy's lawyer to use that violent excuse in court, to where if they would have run this back, that they use his own words against him. If they say, hey man, this was violence by force, because Diddy's lawyers have already said in court he's a violent guy. Think about this. Now let me keep going. I'm not finished yet. So he says that Cassie had a specific preference in selecting her companions and chose the plaintiff for 8 years over many available options. As subsequent criminal trial proceedings have revealed, the allegations demonstrate that Cassie deceived, manipulated, and injured the plaintiff, and therefore should be held accountable alongside Diddy, as the two were partners in these criminal enterprises. Well, she's not going to be held accountable because she already got immunity, sir. It says that the plaintiff's ability to seek timely legal recourse was deliberately frustrated through a coordinated effort involving his former counsel, who communicated with federal prosecutors without the plaintiff's presence. The plaintiff was advised to remain silent and was manipulated into inaction, with his attorney intentionally delaying action to protect Cassie's credibility. The plaintiff was specifically advised that he should file a complaint. If he should file a complaint, he would lose credibility before the court and therefore should refrain from doing so if he wished to do what was right and tell the truth. His counsel deceived, ignored, and misled him regarding the creation of the initial complaint against the defendants and when it would be filed. Despite serving as a complaint witness for the government and providing information that was lately corroborated by investigators, thereby validating his credibility and truthfulness of his statement, the federal prosecutors ultimately withheld the plaintiff's testimony despite its corroborative value and his valid allegations against both defendants. For many years, the plaintiff has lived with this trauma in silence, forced to endure the psychological and physical consequences with no visible avenue for justice. While defendants Ventura's allegations have destroyed Diddy's career, she has escaped liability by using allegations of abuse to avoid criminal responsibility for her own actions, thereby denying victims like the plaintiff the justice to which they are entitled. With the opening of legislation that granted survivors a look-back window to seek justice against offenders, the plaintiff learned he had been given a second chance to obtain the justice he deserved. The plaintiff has also sought justice for over a year, only to be denied through manipulation of legal professionals who wish to affect the criminal trial of Sean Combs. Mr. Howard was used and manipulated. Now tired of the misconduct and incompetence, he has sought action himself and refused to remain silent any longer in the face of the systematic exploitation, abuse, and attorney misconduct. Right? Now, it goes on. Right? Factual allegations. Right? So he says that he met Cassie, right, in 2009. Now, Cassie identified herself as Jackie Starr. She invited him to the London hotel located in New York City to serve as a male companion and provide her with time and company in the privacy of her hotel room for an agreed upon hourly rate. Cassie attempted to conceal her identity through the use of makeup, a large red wig, and dim lighting in the room, which created poor visual conditions. Cassie failed to inform Mr. Howard prior to meeting that another party would be present. Immediately after greeting Mr. Howard, Cassie offered him alcohol and a marijuana cigarette, then instructed him to be seated in the living room. The two parties spoke for approximately 30 minutes while becoming familiar and relaxed. After approximately 30 minutes, Cassie After approximately 30 minutes, Cassie asked to see the personal identification of Mr. Howard for safety purposes so she would know who he really was. Yeah, Cassie got full immunity. See, by Cassie cooperating with the feds ain't coming after Cassie. The only thing the feds are gonna do is use Cassie as a witness in every case. To testify against whoever they prosecute. She working with the feds now. She got flipped. See what I'm saying? So it's just having nothing to hide and wanting to make a woman he assumed a loan comfortable. He provided Cassie with his NYS driver's license, revealing his true identity. Cassie informed Mr. Howard of her intentions by standing and requesting that he expose his beefcake. Under the influence of substances provided, Mr. Howard agreed to Cassie's request, and she claimed to be impressed with his beefcake. Cassie then...
It ain't funny, man, but he tripped me out when he say beefcake, man. My back is hurting. Uncle Mike's back is hurting, man, and I'm over here. When y'all see me looking over this way, y'all know I'm over here double jeopardy. I'm doing double jeopardy. I'm working on some things. Check this out, man. I'm gonna end it right here. We're gonna back up and do some more a big ticket, laying it down. Another lawsuit, dude. That's two. The Michael, his name is West. Michael West. He was talking about. When I said 2 years, I said this case is gonna go on for 2 years. I'm thinking Diddy in and out of court. So would you give somebody bail that has another lawyer that said you got 120 cases facing you and they still coming in? Would you seriously give that person bail? You already got to come back here to do some time. And you got all these other cases. He gonna run. He don't need no passport. They don't, dude, the kids can keep their passport and then that way they can sneak and go see them. Oh my God, man. Y'all don't see this, man. This thing is playing out like a terrible movie. Anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments. I'm working on another song. I'm already putting together another song, man. I'm in this joint working, man. I said, man, you know what? For the last 10 years, I've been looking for a recording artist. Can't work with these recording artists. They think they know everything. You can't make a song, download a beat, record the vocals to it, and then mix it in 2 hours. Are you serious? And that's why their music sound like that. Hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for listening to the music. Cause each one of them songs, I done worked on it for 3 or 4 days. And when I'm playing it to y'all, I'm listening for what needs to be fixed in the song. And I definitely heard some stuff need to be fixed in this song. So y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. Time to go get something to eat, baby. I'm hungry.